Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Today, we're back with entrepreneur and CEO of Bookster, Scott Richmond. Hey, Scott, great to have you back.
My pleasure.
So, today, I want to talk to you about marketing. What key elements, in your opinion, should an author include in their email newsletter to keep readers engaged and eager for new releases?
Well, first of all, if an author is going to do a newsletter, they need to decide if they really can do it. I think a lot of authors just do a newsletter because they feel like they have to. And it really is that unless you could do it, weekly or bi-weekly, sending an emailer once a month or once every 2 months doesn't really work. So you want to have it be something regular. And then from there, it's, are you going to give that audience value? Are they really tuning into something? And, you have to determine like what you're going to do and how often you're going to do it. So be clear that, they're tuning in for something. Are you having contests? Are you giving writing tips? Are you giving behind the scenes? And I'd also even ask some people who are in your mailing list who maybe you know personally, like, what do they want to know about? Like, why would they subscribe to your emailer?
Interesting. Okay, well, that makes great sense. And do you find that offering free chapters or bonus content via email is effective for building a mailing list?
It depends on if people want it. So I know that that's kind of like a silly answer to give, but you just have to be realistic about what you're giving, who's on your mailing list and why. So of course, like somebody who's following you because they're a fan, they're going to be dying for that kind of content. So, but you have to be sparing about it, and you also have to, like I said in the previous question, if you have a sense of what people are looking for, and actually go and ask, don't be shy. A lot of authors, part of like the culture is it's all about reading and knowing, and you should know things. But, just admitting like, hey, I don't know what my audience wants. Let me find out. Like being open to that is going to have you find out what they want so that you could give it to them. And that's probably the best way to go about it.
And what would you say are some creative ways to promote pre-orders or new releases via your email campaigns?
Pre-orders are important as far as getting your book to chart when it comes out. That's one of the most important aspects of it. So the thing is, you want to motivate people to do that pre-order. On the other hand, you want to be realistic that people aren't going to pre-order something that they don't know what they're getting, don't know why they should pre-order. Like, because I'm like, hey, I don't need to pre-order. I'll buy it when it comes out. Why are you asking me to pre-order something I can't even get my hands on? So, as far as asking for pre-orders, of course, number one is, offering signed books, offering some level of motivation, a discount, signed books, whatever. I mean, there's just that very like kind of basic, giving people a motivator financially and or like cachet wise, right? If they know they're
Right.
going to get a signed book, they might do that. And then secondly, really is to have people get the value of it, and then the third of all is just to really say, hey, I want my book to chart, and by you pre-ordering it, that helps that. Depending on what your relationship is with the audience and who you are, there's all sorts of different ways to encourage people to do a pre-order.
And I want to touch back on one of the things that you said with the mailing list. Now, similar to what we talked about with social media, do you believe that there is such a thing as too many email notifications from your author? Too many updates?
Absolutely. Yes. Don't ever send more than one email a week. And I would also say that you want to think about, don't send an email just for the sake of sending an email. Don't waste people's time. They're gonna
Right.
they're gonna unsubscribe. You'll not win that. So it's good to be consistent, but make sure like you're not just doing it because, oh, it's Tuesday.
And to close, Scott, I just want to ask, have you seen a successful email marketing strategy in a niche genre?
Sure. I mean, I've seen a couple I've seen a lot of not successful ones, or ones that I'm like, okay, it's Tuesday, I'm sending an email. But I think that the ones that I see that are successful, a lot of authors, once they've gotten a passionate audience, um, they kind of have their new book unfold, and they share with their following like how it's unfolding. And there's a way you could share in the emailer that you can't share on social media, where you're revealing different parts of it, things like that. I've seen that work. I've also seen it not work. It's a very, it's not a hard and fast thing that you could say this definitely works. But it really is that if you include people and you kind of show people, they've loved something, and you're offering like a a glimpse that they wouldn't have otherwise, that's like a really great way to be effective. I would say the other effective one of the other effective campaigns I saw was someone who is more um, in the realm of a diverse background, and really revealing some traditions and some things that were like in their book that came from their unique background, and kind of revealing these interesting parts of their culture and things like that that just would be fascinating, and like kind of expound on the world of the book. Again, that's like unique to that author, but there's a couple examples.
Well, thank you so much, Scott. That was wonderful information on marketing.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into today's interview with entrepreneur and CEO of Bookster, Scott Richmond. Be sure to check out our website for more videos. Wishing you all a fulfilling and successful writing journey.